So guys, this is another video from Explore the Outdoor, and today we have ventured to Sandsend, which is near enough to Whitby. As the camera pans around, you probably see Whitby over in the distance there. So this was the car park just down from Lythe Bank, and yeah, fairly sized, and it was fairly busy today. Parking is obviously chargeable or payable via Ringo app, or you can pay via card or cash from this machine. So you can see there's a bus service that goes all the way to Whitby, and you probably get the information from the VIVA timetable. It's not that big of a place, Sandsend, but it's quite picturesque, and there's a few little cafes, tea rooms, etc., and they all look really lovely. There's beautiful scenery. There's a little beck, a little river that runs off into the sea as well, where there was a few kids playing today. This is, I remember this from the autumn and from the winter, when the seas are really high. You have to be careful going along this road because the waves can come over and hit the car, and when they do, they bring over stones as well. It was quite windy today, but it didn't stop families being on the beach. It looked like a quite clean beach, and yeah, had the wind not spoilt this, it would have been a bit better. There's loads of little shops along the front as well, little gift shops there where you can buy buckets and spades, wind breakers, balls, that sort of thing. Also this fish and chip sort of seafood cottage takeaway, it actually did look quite busy as I went further along here towards Mulgrave Woods. So this was a place that I had never ever been before, and the sign just stood out to me today, so I thought, let's go and investigate it, let's go and have a look and see what's down here. So as I ventured down, I could see there was a separate car park, which did look a bit busy. So if you wanted to walk along the woods and didn't want to walk from the car park I was in, you could park here. I think it's camera monitored, so you do have to put your number plate in. It's important, and there's loads of signs that stipulate that. So yeah, so off I went into Mulgrave Woods to explore somewhere that I hadn't been before. So it did look like there was a lot of deforestation going on, and also there was slow burning all the waste there. The smell was quite sort of nice to smell that, but I weren't sure what they were doing with these big stumps. Hi everyone, so in Sandsend, and this is the first time that I've been in Mulgrave Woods. I never knew the walk was here, so I decided to come along and check it out, and it's very picturesque at the moment, so yeah, looking forward to seeing what's here, and no doubt I'll update you in the video. I've seen a couple of hawks, kestrel type birds of prey, and so let's hope we get to see something else along our journey. As I ventured further on, I came across this house smack bang in the middle of the woods. It looked pretty nice and rustic. Also lots of wildlife, lots of scenery going on in the woods. I couldn't believe the size of these trees, not the circumference of them, but the actual height. The camera just doesn't do it justice enough. They were some of the tallest trees that I'd ever seen.
As I got to here, I was stuck which way to go: left up the heavenly path, or to the right through the dark tunnel, which I didn't know where it went to. So I decided eventually to take the path off to the left, and when I did, I came to some steps, and have a look and see what happens when I got to the top of the steps. So yeah, wasn't expecting a castle at the top of these steps. Well, a castle ruins all the way from the 13th century as well. So this was a nice surprise, and it was pretty cool just to know how many people's been here over them years, and the history of it. And free as well, free to get inside and have a look. So hope you enjoy. The viewpoint was magnificent, and I tried to visualise what it would have looked like back in the 13th century. You wouldn't have had all of these trees here for a start. These wouldn't have, maybe even just not even tiny saplings. But yeah, it's a perfect place when you think about it. When you take away all the trees and everything else, how it would look around the land. I found that really interesting. So I've just made it back to the car just to recharge the phone and recharge the batteries a little bit. So, and then I'm going to be heading, I didn't expect it to take that long really. I'm going to be heading up over towards this little cove. I know you've got to actually go down quite a steep set of stairs and then a little bridge, and then you've actually got to lower yourself to the shore on a bit of rope that's there. So yeah, it's a nice walk, and it's also an abandoned mine up there with a tunnel, so I'll show you all that in a moment. But resting my legs because I've just done over 4 miles. Didn't expect to do that before I did this one, and we'll see what happens in a minute. So what I did notice is these birds diving into the water. Can you see it? I mean, I couldn't zoom in that great, but they just dive into the water. I don't know the exact name, but I've seen it on David Attenborough. So anyway, I go on the Sandsend trail now along the cliffs, and there's some really good history along these cliffs, especially the industrial history to a quarry that was further along, which has links to the tunnel, which you'll see a bit later. All the way along this route there is perfect scenery, and it is just spectacular to take a moment and take it all in. The path is an old railway line, and it's a cinder track path now, and you follow it all the way along towards Kettleness, and this is known as the lunar landing, lunar site, because it's supposed to be like the surface of the moon. But this was really interesting. Deep Grove Quarry. So some really good pictures there of what it would have looked like back in the day when it was an Elam quarry. So this was time for my secret entrance off to the right, which was a bit more overgrown, and I think might put a lot of people off going down here. The steps are really steep, and there's a lot of scaffolding being hammered into place to make the steps secure, and I think if you were to fall on one, you would definitely do some damage. It is quite a walk down once you get past the undergrowth, though. You can see the metal bars there. It is quite steep, so coming back up is a bit of a challenge, but the tide was in, unfortunately, and when it's right out, you have the whole cove basically to yourself. So these next set of steps that don't really justify how steep they actually are, but they're almost like vertical as you go down.
See, so to go under there, you'd have to be really stupid or really brave, one of the two, to go looking for anything there. You know, if that falls.
So I did kind of put the camera down a little bit here and go and see if I could find some fossils, and I wasn't disappointed, which you'll see on the videos towards the end there, but the tide didn't offer enough space to have a more in-depth look, so I went back up and headed towards the old abandoned railway tunnel there, and hopefully this time I wasn't gonna run away. So I wanted to have a look inside this time, and I didn't get the chance last time I was here to have a look, but it does kind of look spooky from the outside. So I used the stepping stone that was here and put the torch on the camera to have a look in. You can actually sort of see the old railway tracks, and I was just amazed by what might be all the way down that tunnel, and if it has collapsed further down, which I doubt it.
So that's that tunnel there from last time, and I don't know how far it actually goes in, but I think it's probably the same track that continues through Staves Harbour. There's like an old bridge that's been knocked down, but the railway sort of line's still there, and no doubt it was linked to this quarry that we just passed down the road a little bit. But if anybody knows anything, then if anybody knows a little bit more information, then give, you know, comment and let me know. But I will have a look online to see if there's anything else. Again, thanks for watching. Please consider subscribing to the channel. It's free. I wish YouTube would change it, because if people think, oh, subscribe, well, I have to pay. No, you don't. It's just another word of saying, you know, you like the channel basically. So yeah, thanks for watching, and as always, here's some of my best bits from today.